Hello, my name is Jennifer Fields, and I'm here to discuss my research on the effectiveness of co-teaching in secondary mathematics. To begin, it is important to understand how far back co-teaching goes and the variety of definitions associated with it. The educational system has seen many changes over the last century, specifically with the education of students with disabilities. Once the norm, students with disabilities were taught by the special education teacher in a self-contained classroom. Thankfully, laws have changed and schools are required to educate students with their peers in the least restrictive environment. With this change, however, teachers are now tasked with meeting the needs of at-risk students, special education students, while simultaneously helping to identify below-average students, all while trying to meet Common Core standards and career readiness standards. To meet this challenge, schools have pushed for classes to be co-taught by a general education teacher and special education teacher in hopes. In fact, much of the research defined co-teaching from a special education perspective. There are several interpretations of what co-teaching is exactly. Several researchers have given their own interpretations. For the purposes of this study, co-teaching was defined as a service delivery model which included one special education teacher and one general education teacher working jointly to plan and provide instruction to a heterogeneous class of students with and without disabilities in a general education classroom, applying the methods of one teach, one assist, parallel teaching, station teaching, and team teaching. According to research, there is very little reported on the effectiveness of co-teaching in secondary math. This is due primarily to the lack of attention at the secondary level. Elementary levels researched have proven great strides in student achievement. However, Friend, Cook, Hurley, Chamberlain, and Schamberger point out that secondary research tends to be more qualitative and focused on practice versus outcomes like student achievement. Boyd added much of the current research spoke to attitudes and perceptions of staff and students after having participated in these models. Due to the lack of research, I propose studying the effectiveness of co-teaching on student achievement in algebra classes. While there are 6 accepted models of co-teaching, one teach, one observe, one teach, one assist, parallel teaching, station teaching, and alternative team teaching, each one, while having its merits, has significance in different situations. For my study, I worked with the following methods: one teach, one assist, parallel teaching, station teaching, and team teaching. For my research, I chose to use a quantitative quasi-experimental design. The dependent variable was student achievement, and the independent variable under investigation was the co-teaching methods. The specific quasi-experimental design I utilized was a control group time series. I used 2 of my Algebra B classes. The first class had 16 students in it, 13 of which agreed to participate, and the second class, the experimental group, had 21 students, 20 of whom finished the study. Students received an email to participate, an assent form acknowledging their participation, and their parents were provided with a consent form to allow them to participate in the study as they were under the age of 18. Participants in both classes started each lesson with a pretest, generated from ExamView Test Generator, put out by Hypothesis 1. There is no statistically significant difference in students who received one teach, one assist co-teach instruction to those who did not receive one teach, one assist co-taught instruction. The mean clearly shows that the control group has a higher average, plus 13 points. The ANOVA displays a p-value of 0.4789, much greater than the needed value of less than 0.05. Therefore, I retained the hypotheses. Hypothesis 2. There is no statistically significant difference in students who received parallel teaching compared to those who did not receive parallel teaching. Again, the mean for the control group was higher at a plus 8. The p-value was lower than one teach, one assist. However, it was still significantly above Hypothesis 3. There is no statistically significant difference in students who receive station co-teaching instruction compared to those who did not receive station co-teaching instruction when it comes to factoring polynomials. While the means are closer, and it suggests the test scores are closer, the p-value is at 0.66048, much higher than the 0.05. Therefore, I retained the hypotheses. Hypothesis 4. There is no statistically significant difference in students who received team teaching than those who did not receive team teaching. The experimental group's mean shows slightly better over the control group. However, the p-value is greater than 0.05. In fact, it's 0.43188 as seen in the chart. The data